Hello again, everybody. I'm going to go through our online Messianic Passover Haggadah and go through and read the Hebrew that we use throughout the Haggadah so that you don't have to wonder how to pronounce a word. You can just follow along. So I'm bringing it up full screen here on my computer. It might be a little bit smaller when you look at it on your computer, but it's in the same order. So I'm going to just kind of click through these, and you can actually, in advance of yours, kind of click through, and we're going to, slide by slide, say any of the words that are in Hebrew. Here we go. For 7 days you are to eat matzah. Matzah. Okay, so that's that first one under preparing for Passover. The second one underneath this is berechat chametz. Berechat chametz, which is the search for leavening. Passover seder is there, which is the order or the structure of the service. And Haggadah is the telling. So Haggadah, Passover Haggadah, is the thing that tells the story. Haggadah means, or Haggadah means the telling, as I said before, and Seder is there once again. On this next one, we have Seder and Communion and the Lord's Supper and Seder, although Communion and the Lord's Supper are definitely not Hebrew. And then we have the Seder plate. And you'll notice we actually have a mistake here. We have a couple of them that are switched. Horseradish root and roasted egg are switched. Betzah means egg, so that should be up there. And then chatzeret should be down here for the horseradish root. But we have maror, which is the bitter herb. Betzah, which should be the roasted egg. Chatzeret, which should be the horseradish root. Then we have a cup of salt water in the middle. And then we have karpas, which is and karpas shouldn't actually be the chopped apples and nuts. Karpas should be the parsley. So this is definitely wrong. And charoset should be the chopped apple and nuts. And tzera'ah is the lamb shank bone. So we've got a couple of mistakes there, but that's all of the different ones that should be on your Seder plate if you've been able to find all of them even during this time. We light the candles and we say Adonai, which literally means my Lord. As we kindle the festival lights, we pray for the illumination of the Spirit of God to bring great personal meaning to this, our Messianic Passover celebration. And then this blessing to begin to welcome everybody and to even welcome the Spirit of God in. Begins with Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'devaro umishmo anachnu malachim hanerot shel yom tov, which means, blessed are you, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who has set us apart by his word, and in whose name we light the festival lights. Here we have Adonai again, and we have the Hebrew pronunciation of Moses, which is Moshe. And I'm just going to go through and actually do the ones that have the actual Hebrew on them. Here's one, Kadesh, which is the cup of holiness or sanctification. Kadosh, of course, is holy. Kadesh is the sanctifying, the making of holy. I will free you from the forced labor of the Egyptians. And here we have our first blessing over a cup of wine. So it's our first cup. There are 4 cups in the evening. And we often will sing this one. So we sing, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Amen. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who creates the fruit of the vine. And then we have a couple of Hebrew words here, Seder, which we've already gone over. That's the order of the evening. And Talmudim, which means disciples. Archatz, the act of washing hands, of cleaning your hands in kind of a ritual way as you begin a Jewish meal. And no Hebrew on that one. Here's Talmudim again. And here's the parsley, the karpas. Karpas. The people of Israel still groaned under the yoke of slavery, so that bitterness, this idea of bitterness, is there for karpas, the bitter herb. And there it is again, karpas. And then we have this blessing over the bitter herb, or the fruit of the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri ha'adamah. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who creates the fruit of the earth. Ma nishtana, the 4 questions. This is something that's often sung by children, the youngest child that can sing it, or you can just read the questions. But this gets to the central core of the Passover Seder, which is from generation to generation, telling the story of God's redemption. And so Man Nishtana is children asking, what is this about? What is God doing? All right? So here's the first one. And you can sing it or you can say it. Ma nishtana halayla hazeh mikol halelot. How different this night is from all other nights. And we sing, Ma nishtana halayla hazeh mikol halelot. Mikol halelot, halayla hazeh, mikol halelot, halayla hazeh, mikol halelot. And here's the second question. Shevechol halelot, anu ochlin, chametz umatzah, halayla hazeh, kulo matzah. Shevechol halelot, anu oklin chametz umatzah, halayla hazeh, kulo matzah, halayla hazeh, kulo matzah. The third question. On all other nights, we eat all kinds of vegetables, so why tonight the bitter herbs? Shevechol halelot anu oklin she'ar yerakot, halayla hazeh, maror, halayla hazeh, maror. Shevechol halelot anu ochlin she'ar yerakot, halayla hazeh maror. And the fourth question. Shevechol halelot in anu matbelin afilu pa'am echat, halayla hazeh shetei fe'amim. On all other nights, we do not dip our vegetables even once, so why do we dip our vegetables twice tonight? Shevechol halelot in anu matbelin afilu pa'am echat, halayla hazeh shetei fe'amim, halayla hazeh shetei fe'amim. And then, well, I guess the first one was really just the first kind of opening question. So this is like our fourth one. Shevechol halelot in anu ochlin ben yoshvein uvein mesubin, halayla hazeh kulanu mesubin. On all other nights we eat sitting or reclining. So why are we told to recline on this night? Shevechol halelot in anu in ochlin. Wait, what is going on here? Shevechol halelot anu ochlin ben yoshvein uvein mesubin, halayla hazeh kulanu mesubin, halayla hazeh kulanu mesubin. And then we answer the 4 questions. Matzah is a Hebrew word there for the unleavened bread. And chametz, leaven. Chametz is even what we're told there in 1 Corinthians and other places that like sin can work its way, spread just as leavening spreads through. And then we also see here Pesach, Passover lamb. And this one has 3 matzot, which is the plural for matzah. 3 matzot are wrapped up. And once again down here, we also have matzah. See how the matzah is pierced. And once again, we have matzah here, but we also have a new word, Afikomen, the coming one, the one that we're anticipating. So there's an Afikomen in there. And then you hide the Afikomen. So the children have to find the Afikomen later, and you have to redeem it. So Afikomen is there, and seder is there. And then we have here the blessing that we traditionally sing over the bread of the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. And then we go into maror, the bitter herbs. Okay, and so this is all just a description of the bitter herbs, and it's like all sorts of things that you can interact with. This is exciting because there's the horseradish, and it can actually make you cry. And you have matzah, and you put some maror on it. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'devaro, uvitzivanu al achilat maror. Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who has set us apart by his word and commanded us to eat bitter herbs. That's for when we actually do our large congregational seder. You don't have to put your attention to the front at that time. The choroset. The choroset is the sweet apple mixture that goes on top of the bitterness to show us that even in the midst of bitterness, there's sweetness. So choroset, matzah on this slide, and choroset once again. And we have once again matzah and maror and choroset. About reclining. The Magid, the story of Passover. So it's actually the telling of the story, which is a good thing. And I don't believe that there's any Hebrew in here, because this is all just read. And you might want to choose some readers in your Seder to read different parts if you have a big enough family. And then there's the cup of plagues. And so we enter into the cup of plagues. There's not really any Hebrew in here except for Adonai. And then we remove some drips from our glass and dip them out onto our plate, removing from a full cup, because a full cup is joy. Removing from our joy, because we shouldn't rejoice when even our enemies, even our enslavers and oppressors experience hard and horrible things. And here we are, Passover lamb, Pesach. Pesach is that word right there. And then this is Rabbi Gamaliel's teaching that you should mention these 3 things, the matzah, the maror, and the Pesach. So here we are, having already done unleavened bread and bitter herbs on Pesach, the Passover lamb. And this is when it's good to be able to lift that shank bone of a lamb, if you were able to get one of those for your Seder plate. And on this slide, we have matzah and maror. And we also have Adonai's Pesach. Adonai on this one. And then we have the egg, the roasted egg, which is also in the Seder, and it's called Haggadah. Haggadah, a special holiday offering. It's a symbol of mourning. Also can denote new birth coming out of maybe death, and you can eat it later during the Seder meal. And Dayenu. It would have been enough. So Dayenu we do right before our meal. Dayenu, it would have been sufficient or it would have been enough, is that word there. And we recite this, and it's like a responsive reading. If the Lord had merely rescued us, but had not judged the Egyptians, and then everybody says together, Dayenu. And there's even a song, Dayenu, Dayenu. Of course, there's lots of versions of that. One of our favorite ones is by this Jewish a cappella group. Oh, can't remember which one it is that sings. There's a bunch of them that sing a Dayenu. But yeah, Google Jewish a cappella Dayenu, and you'll find good stuff. And then here we are at the Passover supper, the Shulchan Orech. And this is the actual celebrating together. And we finally drink that second cup and sing Dayenu if we can. Maybe bring it up on your computer and have people sing along with it if you can. That'd be great. And you eat the meal. After the meal, we come to the tzafun, or the Afikomen. And if the Afikomen has been stolen by one of the kids or has been found, they found where you hid it and then they've brought it back, then you can redeem it from them and maybe give them some shekels or something. And then we say a blessing once again over this bread because it's like a second blessing over the bread to receive the Afikomen, which is going to be the final thing that we eat as like a dessert. And this is where we also add in some of our own celebration that Messiah, that Yeshua added at this time. We know, for example, in the book of Luke, he said, "This is my body, which is being given for you. Do this in memory of me." And so then there was the piercing of the matzah and the stripes of the matzah and the brokenness of the matzah and being redeemed and brought back. And there's so much symbolism here. It's very powerful. So once again, we say this blessing, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who brings forth bread from the earth. And there's a blessing that's sung here, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. That's the nusach, that's the tune that we use for singing this in our congregation. And then the cup of redemption. And so we fill it for the third time. And then we also do a little celebration here, almost like a mini communion or celebration of the Lord's Supper. And we remember the things that Yeshua told us to remember, that it was a Brit Chadashah, that it was a new covenant, that it was ratified by his blood. And then we say the blessing over the cup of wine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Amen. And then Eliyahu Hanavi. We look forward to this time when the prophet Elijah is going to come and herald the coming of Messiah. And there's an extra cup that's been poured, and maybe a child goes to the door to see if Eliyahu is there and ready to come and tell us that Messiah is here. And we have Adonai, and we have Eliyahu, Elijah the prophet. And then there's a song, Eliyahu Hanavi, which you can actually look up, and you could maybe sing along with it, and that would be really lovely. And then the final cup of the evening, the cup of praise, Hallel. I will take you as my people, I will be your God. And this is Chodu la'Adonai ki tov ki leolam chasto. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his loving kindness, his chesed, his loving grace continues forever. And we all go through this as a responsive reading. One person reads the printed words, and then the ones that are italicized or in script, everybody reads together. And then our final blessing over a cup, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Amen. Our seder is now complete. And then we say, next year in Jerusalem, L'shana haba'ah be'Yerushalayim. L'shana haba'ah be'Yerushalayim, L'shana haba'ah be'Yerushalayim. And it's a great song too. You can look it up if you want to sing along with a melody with somebody playing the melody. You could sing along with it, but otherwise, now your Seder is complete. So I hope this little pronunciation guide is helpful for you, and you have a wonderful and blessed Passover Seder in these interesting times.